You know, I think I'll stay right here for a while. I shouldn't have stood up.
What are you doing out here?
Resting my twisted ankle. I was sent to Mournhold to get help for Master Rastin, but an Aelit chased me into the swamp. Stupid Aelit. Please, go to our trading post and speak to Telvanni Hadran. She could really use your help.
What's wrong?
Master Rastin went to talk to the leaders of the Mabragash tribe, and never came back. Telvanni can tell you more, if you're interested.
Alright, I'll see if I can find the trading post. There was this new thing at the Shazar described to the gods, becoming mothers and fathers, being responsible, making great sacrifices, with no guarantee of success. But Shazar spoke beautifully to them and moved them beyond mystery and tears. Thus the Aedra gave free birth to the world, the beasts and the beings, making these beings from parts of themselves. This free birth was very painful, and afterwards the Aedra were no longer young and strong and powerful, as they had been from the beginning of days. Some Aedra were disappointed and bitter in their loss, and angry with Shazar, and with all creation, for they felt Shazar had lied and tricked them. These Aedra, the gods of Almir, led by Oriel, were disgusted by their enfeebled selves and by what they had created. Everything is spoiled, and for now and for all time, and the most we can do is teach the elven races to suffer nobly with dignity, chastise ourselves for our folly, and avenge ourselves upon Shazar and his allies. Thus are the gods of the elves dark and brooding, and thus are the elves ever dissatisfied with mortality, always proud and stoic despite the harshness of this cruel and indifferent world. Other Aedra look upon the creation and were pleased. These Aedra, the gods of men and beast folk led by Akatosh, praised and cherished their wards, their mortal races. We have suffered and diminished for all time, but the mortal world we have made is glorious, filling our hearts and spirits with hope. Let us teach the mortal races to live well and to cherish beauty and honor, and to love one another as we love them. Thus are the gods of men tender and patient, and thus are men and beast folk great in heart for joy, or suffering, and ambitious for greater wisdom and better word. Now when the Daedra lords heard Shazar, they mocked him, and the other Aedra. Cut parts of ourselves off and lose them forever. That's stupid. You'll be sorry. We are far smarter than you, and we will create a new world out of ourselves, but we will not cut off or let it mock us, but we will make this world within ourselves, forever ours, under our complete control. So the Daedra lords created the Daedric realms and all the ranks of lesser Daedra, great and small. And for the most part, the Daedra lords were all pleased with this arrangement, for they always had worshippers and servants and anything close to hand. At the same time, they sometimes looked with envy upon the mortal realms, but though mortals were foul and feeble and contemptible, their passions and ambitions were also far more surprising and entertaining than the antics of the Lord Daedra. Than the antics of the lesser Daedra. Thus do the Daedra lords court and seduce certain amusing specimens of the mortal races, especially the passionate and powerful. Gives the Daedra lords special pleasure to steal away from Shazar and Aedra, the greatest and most ambitious mortals. Not only are you fools to mutilate yourselves, quote the Daedra lords, but you cannot even keep the best pieces, which prefer the glory and the power of the Daedra lords to the feeble vulgarity of the mush-minded Aedra.
I miss Ebonheart. I wish I was home.
I met an apprentice out on the road who said you needed help.
Master Rostin Vendiel is missing. He went into the Mabragosh camp to make a trade deal. It seems he, misread the mood of this tribe. Something went wrong. I wish we'd never come to the Vale of the Ghost Snake.
The Mabragosh Ghost Snake.
Ashlanders, but even more isolated than most, worship some snake spirit. Rostin wants to trade for their unique snakeskin leather. They won't tell me anything right now, probably because I'm part of House Halalu. Maybe they will talk to you.
Anything else you can tell me about this place?
I heard that the Farseer calls the shots, but Rostin dismissed the notion. He wants an exclusive deal for the beautiful leathers the Mabragosh make, and he may have overstepped. Rostin was speaking to Gulikan Heronot the last time I saw him.
I can try to find out what happened to Rostin.
Thank you for agreeing to look for Master Rostin. I'm sure he was going to talk to Gulikan Heronot. Perhaps he can tell you where Rostin's gotten to.
Anything else you can tell me about this place?
I think the Farseer runs the tribe, but Rostin dismissed that idea. He doesn't believe a woman could have that kind of power. I hope he didn't insult her. Anyway, Rostin went to talk to Gulikan Heronot. That was the last time I saw him.
Why do they call this place the Vale of the Ghost Snake?
Who knows how these places get their names? Ithrini said that the ghost snake they worship is Sithis. Nonsense if you ask me. All I know is that big snakes slither near the swamps. They looked very real to me, not ghostly at all.
Okay.
What can the Mabragash do for you, outsider?
Trader Raston's people are worried about him.
Outsiders have no place here. The House Lalu Highlands should pack up and go. The trader is in Farseer Bodani's hands now.
House Halu might send others if Rostin doesn't return.
That thought has also crossed my mind. You think like a wise woman. I like that. The trader insulted the Farseer and her anger has blinded her to such consequences. Talk to wise woman Iru Ahan. She may be able to help you.
May I ask you some questions?
If you must.
How did Raston insult the Forsea?
That ignorant outsider. Let's just say that he mocked us and made the Farseer very angry. He will serve the ghost snake. The Farseer will make sure of that. We do not welcome outsiders, but we treat them with courtesy if they respect our ways.
I'm not going to ask the question about the snake because I feel like that could be insulting. Ashlander wise woman. An outsider looks around an Ashlander camp, sees the interactions, and speaks to some of the clan members. This outsider likely assumes that the Ashcan leads the tribe, since the Ashcan are usually the strongest warrior. This assumption leads to the outsider to grief should they ignore the more subtle strength and power within the tribe when trying to negotiate or request assistance. The wise woman serves as the spiritual leader of the tribe, and even in the Ashcan seeks her counsel and obeys her visions. A wise woman employs a type of magic foreign to those trained in the use of different schools of magicka. Her magicka appears to be grounded in the natural world. Evidence exists that some wise women receive prophetic visions. Certain scholars studying the Ashlander clans say that this dream interpretation simply makes us use of intuition and thorough understanding of the eternal relationships and politics within a given clan to claim some sort of prophetic vision. The label wise women as lore keepers with a useful, if largely informal, knowledge of herbal alchemy. This attitude is dismissive and speaks to the lack of scholarly study on the part of the observer. I've spent some time among the Ashlander clans and have personally witnessed a wise woman who was able to heal a gravely injured hunter. The recovery from a grievous injury within the span of a day was nothing short of miraculous. This hunter, who was gored badly by some creature, was at death's door when brought to the wise woman. The loss of blood alone did not bode well for the survival. I did not witness whatever rituals the wise woman may have performed in his healing. I was, however, able to speak with the hunter, and within a day she was up and walking. The clan wise woman should never be ignored and her advice never dismissed, not if you want to be successfully deal with the Ashlander tribe.
You are not one of the women from the Hlaalu outpost. What do you want?
I'm trying to find out what happened to Rastin Vendel.
The merchant isn't your concern. His fate is in the hands of the Farseer and the Ghost Snake. Still, something disturbs the Veil. I thought it was the merchant, but now the signs and portents point to you.
To me, what are we talking about?
The signs and portents are all around us, influencing events. Can you not see them? If you want my advice, you should... Wait, what's that? Your presence has aroused the serpent bound.
What madness is this, restless spirits? Why have you left the sanctity of the coiled path? Be calm, spirits. Trust in the wisdom of the ghost snake.
This is an outrage! I want to speak to the man in charge of this tribe, you crazy woman!
Another outsider. But this one... I have seen this one in my visions. We must speak. I'm not sure if I should welcome you or curse you.
I'm here on behalf of the Hlaalu traders. They're worried about Rastin.
This fool has pestered our hunters, importuned our wise women, and insulted me by demanding to speak to the man in charge of our tribe. I brook no challenges to my authority, or disruptions to the Veil.
What are you going to do with him?
I was going to take him to the Ghost Snake, but all that changed when you arrived. I have seen a vision of you upon the coiled path. You have a role to play in deciding the fate of this man, and our Veil.
You want me to decide Rastin's fate?
There is something unusual about you. I sense it, and certainly the Ghost Snake knows of you. Talk to this man. Take his measure. Then speak to me when you're ready to face the trial of the Ghost Snake.
Are you going to walk the coiled path?
I'm a master trader from House Hlaalu. I'm welcome everywhere, but these people want to sacrifice me to some snake.
Why do they want to sacrifice you?
How should I know? I'm an honest merchant. I just wanted to set up a little trade agreement with the tribe. They make some gold, we make some gold, everybody wins. Next thing I know, they tie me up and act like I committed some crime.
You must have done something to anger the Farseer.
I was soaking up the local flavor, if you know what I mean. These Mabrigash ladies are lovely, but my flirting made that witch Badani mad. Besides, they refused to let me speak to the man in charge. Why are they being this way?
Because it's not the men in charge, it's the women in charge. Are you sure that's all you did?
Well, I did ask the Farseer to summon her boss and get me a glass of Shane. But I asked nicely and everything. Don't let them feed me to the snake. I didn't do anything wrong.
You were a jerk to the women in charge, you idiot. I'll talk to the Farseer.
I hope she listens to reason. She acts like she's in charge, but she wouldn't even listen to my proposal. Trade proposal, mind you, not a marriage proposal. Those snake hides would earn them plenty of gold. Plenty of gold for all of us.
Back inside.
Of course, of course. Care to join me? Oh, never mind. I'm going.
He's an idiot, isn't he?
I see shifting shadows and change in our future.
You do, but... Dana, you are a sister to me. I know you saw this would come to pass. Your sight is your talent, your gift. You knew how it would come to be, but not why it would come to be. I would enlighten you to honor the bonds which we have shared in our time together. Many of us are born to the coiled path through hardship, but not all. The Ashkin of your tribe reduced you to nothing. He took everything from you, and he left you without another path to tread. Your choice was that of survival. You protected and sheltered your people from him. Strong Heronot, industrious Rezno, little Shanavarian, and her brother Dratsul would not have followed you here if they did not believe that you were still their guide and protector. You chose to lead as a wise woman might, but you are now Mabragash, a wise woman no longer in the eyes of our people and our ways. The ghost snake will take them all in time, and if you do not send them away. Keep Heronot if he pleases you, as Tradu and Unameth please me, but send the others from our camp. The rest of us were born to the coiled path for other reasons, not all as noble and worthy of understanding as your own. Yet all of us gather here at this sacred veil for one purpose, to extend our lives and bring power onto ourselves. Let your final act of leadership be to send your people away to safety.
And what do you think of that, man?
I don't think he meant to offend anyone.
Yet he managed to offend and insult nearly everyone. My visions tell me that you will decide this man's fate, as well as the fate of my tribe. You will walk the coiled path and seek counsel with the ghost snake.
What do I need to do?
Follow the coiled path to the Fang Spires. Collect exactly 8 bog rats along the way to make a proper offering. Few ever reach the spires. Serpent-bound ghosts will challenge you every step of the way. They already sense your presence.
I'll bring the offering to the Fang Spires.
The vision I had was strong. Your choices determine the fate of merchant and Mobrigosh alike. But you must speak to the ghost snake. The coiled path begins just outside the village, but know that the serpent-bound will block your way.
Can you tell me more about the offering?
The ghost snake has a taste for bog rats. They make a proper offering. But only if you bring exactly 8 of the plump creatures to the Fang Spires.
Why 8?
Do not question the will of the ghost snake. Besides, that's exactly the number of rats that fit in the bag I gave you. More than that I cannot say. The mystery of the sacred number is not for the ears of an outsider.
Hey, where's Xander?
And now, adventure! Someday you'll make something surprising with that.
My name is Riza. My restless and reckless nature led me to this place. I don't have long to live. I'm not afraid, but I do have one sorrow. The amulet my mother gave me was lost when the snake delivered the poison that's now killing me. If you're reading this, may you fare better on the coiled path than I. You read a small gold amulet engraved with an R on one of the serpents. Take it to my mother. Tell her my last thoughts were of her. And a lot of...
A divergence point. Ha!
Found the amulet. I guess that's that one.
What can an Arcanist do for you? Another chance at perfection. An opportunity for cogitation. Scholarship.
Anyone reading this, beware this blade. It's corrupted and perverted the desires of great men and women, yet its powers is without equal. To kill while your victim smiles at you. Only a daedra most foul could have concocted such a malevolent. I don't know how to say that. Malevolent and twisted weapon. It appears that all who wield it end up with the crazed eyes of those wild men who roam the hills, chattering with rabbits. It is not to be trifled with. Not even the hottest fires of the sky forge could melt it. Indeed, the coals themselves seemed to cool when it was placed within. We cannot destroy it, and we would not have it fall to the hands of our enemies, so we keep it hidden, never to be used. Woe to be to those who chose to take it.
Now, please. Quality material makes for quality goods.
Scroll of 8, Darkness Devour, Dreamer, Silence, Light, Death, and Rebirth. These are the 8 sacred aspects of the ghost snake. Each contains a truth, a lie, and a mystery that entwines upon itself, forever undulating like the coils of the great serpent. Ghost snake, accept our humble offering.
Libations are on you next time. Ha!
The mini-map that I have, it shows books that need to be collected. The only thing is it's very delayed, I've noticed.
Your offering pleases me.
Oh, there really is a ghost snake.
The warm blood was sent by those who honor and protect this veil. Most curious.
The Mabragash asked me to seek your counsel.
Every path leads in 2 directions, into light and into darkness. Light and dark, good and evil, sunlight and shadow. 2 sides to all things, little warm blood.
What does that mean?
Let me show you.
You? Oh. I was like, what are we fighting? I will in a minute. Doesn't feel very urgent. I think I can pick this rune.
I'm with you, cohort.
I'm sure all these goodies are just fine. But they've been in this underground cavern in a sort of a cold pantry, right?
The warm blood is skillful and cunning.
Will you help the Mabragash now?
The Mabragash must make their own choices. Connect with the world outside or remain isolated. It is never only light or shadow. As long as they honor my kin and I, they are free to do as they please.
Won't the veil change if they choose to give up their isolation?
Some can stay isolated in the veil, or some may choose the outside world. Two sides of the same path. The merchant's presence has already changed the veil. What happens next is inevitable.
What about you?
I am the ghost snake. I am both constant and ever-changing. One thing to you, another perhaps to the Mabragash. Aid the Mabragash as you will. The choice is yours to make. I can send you back to the Farseer. She waits for you at her tent.
I'm ready to go back now.
You walked the coiled path and survived? Has the ghost snake spoken?
He says that you must decide for yourselves.
Ghost Snake is wise, but inscrutable. I had hoped he would demand that we bring the merchant to him. It's no coincidence that you arrived at the same time as the merchant. You are bound up in this. You must help us decide.
What do you want me to do?
I crafted a snake totem representing the entwined fates of the Mabragash and the merchant. Get it from my tent. I will have the merchant brought here. A decision must be made. Our fate depends upon it.
Here's the totem. Now what?
Now you must choose. If the Mabragash are to remain isolated, place the totem in the fire. If we are to change our ways and trade with the Hlalu, give the totem to the merchant.
What happens to Rastin if I burn the totem?
He will remain in the Vale, serving the ghost snake.
Would it be so bad if the Mabragash to become less isolated?
I know only that it will change us. Whether for good or ill, only time will tell.
I need more information before I decide.
Seek guidance where you would. Speak to my people, the merchant, or even the merchant's assistant if you wish. But then you must choose.
I've spoken to some of the Mabragash wise women. They've been perfectly polite.
What do I suggest I do?
I've been on the receiving end of Rostin's vaunted charms a time or two. I'm not surprised he managed to offend every woman in the Vale. I wonder if the Farseer would consider another option. I don't wish Rostin ill, but I have an idea.
What do you propose?
They let Rostin live, as long as he promises never to speak of the Vale or return here. Then they sign a trade agreement with me. They deal with me, and I keep other Hlalu traders away. It's a mutually beneficial arrangement.
That's an interesting suggestion.
Everyone wins. Rostin doesn't end up as snake food. I gain prestige among the Hlalu, and Mabragash can limit the amount of influence the outside world places on the Vale.
If that harlot Telvanni steals my deal, she'll regret it.
They're wary of opening the veil to outsiders.
So they treat me like some sort of criminal? I've been nothing but respectful, and trade would help them.
You'll benefit from the trade, too.
Of course I benefit. I'm a merchant. Trading is what I do. How about this? Propose a limited trade agreement on their terms, and I'll agree to keep other traders away from the Vale.
I knew a woman would successfully navigate the coiled path.
Do you think the tribe would benefit from dealing with House Olu?
At first, I just wanted the merchant to go away. But I've been thinking, perhaps it wouldn't be so bad to deal with the outside world.
And everyone here would agree with you.
No. Many are set in their ways and fear change. But if we're cautious, we may benefit in the long run.
What's your step among the Mabragash, outsider?
How do you feel about allowing House Olu to trade for snakeskins?
Roston claims things won't change, but I don't trust him. If you ask me, the Hlalu are just one step above thieves.
What do you think I should do?
If it were up to me, Roston would have quietly disappeared the first night he arrived here. But you're the one making the decision, not me.
Our fate rests in your hands.
I've made a decision.
By your next action, our fate will be sealed. If the Mabragash are to grant access to the Vale, give the totem to the merchant. If we are to remain isolated, tending the Vale without outside interference, burn the totem in the fire. My vision was clear. Your actions will affect our future, perhaps in ways we cannot yet see.
Would you consider an arrangement with Telvanni Hadron in exchange for Raston's freedom?
Telvanni spoke with Iru Ahan and made that same suggestion. A sly ploy. Clever. I admire that. I would be willing to deal with a smart woman who respects and understands our ways.
So you'll release Raston?
Roston will remain our guest while we finalize details with the female trader. We have ways to make sure he never speaks of us again. But have no fear. He will be released shortly. Pity. He would have served the ghost snake well.
Well, that was fun.
Good find, cohort.